society, focused on the developing of our resources, especially the human potential that represents one of our greatest assets. Human resources are one of the greatest assets that Kosovo has developed for about over 10 years, 12 years. These resources has to be bestly used, and these resources we are going to use in the best way and for the best interest of our country and our nation, to one day to become a member of a big family of the European Union and United Nations and NATO. And we, as representatives of the institutions, welcome it and cherish the fresh approach that you bring to the table, because in it we see the potential of our country's development and prosperity. We will continue to support and invest in your education, in your youth of Kosovo, because I'm a firm believer that it is the greatest investment that we can make, for it helps us cement a success and a secure future of Kosovo. I urge all of you to continue to foster an environment that is open to respectful debate of ideas and respond to the needs of our country and the region. And I'm a strong believer of one proverb by a fisherman that says, "You better teach me fishing than giving me a fish every day." As I have pointed out recently, we would always bear in mind that our strive for progress takes place in the context of globalization and technological achievements. The global market space of ideas and knowledge demands people who have initiatives and expertise, people that are creative and team players. That's what Kosovo needs. That's what the Europe needs. This I consider, and I'm a strong believer, and I have said this before, and I'm going to say this in front of you, and I have taken from a good friend of mine this quote, which is the Secretary of State. In one of her speeches addressing to the world leaders, she mentioned the word, it's the year of integration. And yes, it is the year and it is the age of integration. This age of integration provides you with an ultimate opportunities to expand our horizon, and urge you to never lose sight of that. The future of Kosovo, the direction in which our society will go, our strategic goals are dependent upon you and your will to shape yourselves into active citizens. And most importantly, you will spread the values, you will continue to inspire and be inspired, and dream a big, because we aspire a better future for the country that we are building together. With you as the future leaders of the country, our future is secure, and I'm a stronger believer what I'm saying and what I mean. And with that, I congratulate you with this new beginning, and I hope I'll see you in the other events. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam President. The President has graciously agreed to answer a couple of questions. We've got about 10 minutes only for questions, and she'll take questions from students. Yes. Would you say your name and your hometown, and questions in English, please, because we have students here from a number of different countries. Not everybody speaks Albanian.
Regards, Madam President, I'm Julian from Albania, and I'm a freshman here in the UK. And my question is about the, I've heard in the media that soon in Kosovo, or they are working on the elections for the president, which will be, so the president of Kosovo will be chosen by the people of Kosovo in an election. It's usually, Kosovo as a republic, as a parliamentary republic, and the legislative body of Kosovo is the parliament, and that is the body, and the executive body, which is the prime minister, and the cabinet, which is chosen by people. And usually in parliamentary republics, the president is chosen by the legislative body. So don't you think that this is a paradoxal thing in a legislative level for Kosovo, for the president to be chosen by people?
Thank you for your question, and as you already know, and particularly the students from Kosovo knows that the ongoing process, or the committees or the commissions are ongoing the process of the discussion for the review of the constitution and also for the review of the electoral law. This process has started back in June, and I think that they have been finishing with a first draft, and they are now in all regions are debating within the municipalities. 2 days ago was in Jahjaga, and there is an ongoing process where a very constructive ideas, debates about the process of being a president elected by the people, about the president being elected by the parliament, about the competencies, current competencies of the president in accordance to the current constitution, and the proposals for amendments for the current constitution. So without trying to go deep into that, definitely I do have my opinion, but my opinion is going to be a time where I will be using my constitutional power to be addressing on the way and the timing what that requires. But despite that, we would have to leave it and to behave in the way that we have behaved as a democratic country, of leaving the commission to conduct its job as being competent and as being addressed for.
Yes,
it's a pleasure having you here. My name is Arian Rizai, I'm a sophomore student. My question is, we know that Kosovo is independent. Considering this independence, how much of influences by other European countries do we have? Thank you.
As I did say in my remarks, though in the beginning I was told that I should make more focus in the Kosovo situation. Intentionally, I did make my presentation more focused into the regional perspective, or more into the regional concept. Why? Because speaking with the students from Albania, students from Macedonia, students from Montenegro and other regional countries are approximately facing with the same obstacles or the challenges of the reform process for the EU integration, where the reform process, as I said in my entry remarks, is not as much as for the EU, as much as is needed for the proper way of living for the people within the country. Kosovo is an independent, it's a sovereign country which has its territorial integrity. It's the country which has been recognized now by over 84 countries in the world. Our strategic goal, as I said, is to become a member of the United Nations, of the European Union and NATO. And to be a member, not for the interest of Kosovo, but for interest of other countries, particularly within those organizations, of all regional and cross-regional and international organizations where Kosovo and the Kosovo institution would give their best for the interest of this integration, but also for the interest of Kosovo. Kosovo now, and as I said in my public announcement, Kosovo has a great future. Its future is towards the proper EU integration. And on that, we have a strong allies and strong partners. To my left is sitting your Dean, President Chris, for the AUK University, but not because that we are in a strong partnership with United States of America, but we have a great support by all the EU countries which has not recognized Kosovo. Kosovo very soon is going to enter also with the contractual relation and the trade relation, which are going to speed up and is going to enforce the reform process, which is one of our main goals.
Yes. Are there no women who want to ask
That
questions?
is my question.
Madam President, thank you for your speech. We are honored to have you here today. You mentioned, my name is Anton Dresha, I'm a freshman here. You mentioned something about organized crime, and that leads me to my question. Me, as a young man, I'm concerned about the situation going on the northern part of Kosovo. I'd like to have your comment on today's K4 action that happened in the northern part of Kosovo. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And actually the issue of organized crime, and as I said in my remarks, organized crime, transborder crime, contraband, and all other natures of crime, I wouldn't say that it's almost only a solo problem of Kosovo. This is a regional problem. This is a cross-regional problem. We are dealing here with global phenomena which tackles all levels of the society. Being Kosovo, being Albania, being in one of the EU Western countries or so. In order to tackle the best way, as I said, we need a better mobilizing of all of the mechanisms within the country and across the border of the country. Kosovo, for these past years, despite the presence of the international presence in Kosovo, we had a small handicap, which was non-membership of Kosovo into the Interpol and Europol, which are the main bodies for the proper cooperation, collaboration, and exchange of the information, how to bestly tackle this nature of crimes. Hopefully, in the near future, we are going to overcome these political obstacles, having Kosovo to become a member of this international organization. When we speak about the crime, we have to overcome the political barriers, because we are speaking about the standard of the life of all of the people without the political frames. And as regard of the North, and I will repeat myself as I did say in the past, that the answer to all of that was a proper rule of law in the whole territory of Kosovo. The action by the institution of Kosovo, the action by the international partners, which are in Kosovo, like the EULEX and KFOR, which the institutions of Kosovo and the Republic of Kosovo, government of the Republic of Kosovo, has full support by our international partners within Kosovo and outside of Kosovo, is maintaining the rule of law, which is our constitutional and legal requirements as well. Thank you.
One last question.
I'm Diana Goya, and I'm a freshman at AUK. Until now we discussed about major issues because you deal with them as a president, but I would like to know what activities were undertaken in this period of time as a president for youngsters. What opportunities do we have when we finish the universities? Because we know and we are not sure if we will have jobs or something like that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and you are bringing me back to my remarks where I said that I try to lead by example, not because I belong to the young generation, not because of my previous background, but I try to lead by example, using the best way I consider the human capacity, human potential, where Kosovo is so much having it. Leading that example, I started with my cabinet, where about 90% of my cabinet is about young professionals who has graduated within universities in Kosovo, in the US, in Germany, in UK, and elsewhere. I remember the speech that I had in the US with my last trip, and one of the students asked me the particular question. How and what we can do. If we will be finishing and if we will be completing what I said so far, jointly with the support by the community and by the society, I think the opportunity, the precondition has been set up of setting this strong foundation for our people and our nation. I did mention in the US, and I'm going to mention here as well, because you are mostly going to be dealing with that. And we do have some professor from the United States of America here, Lisa. I consider Kosovo as a very favorable and as a very good potential location for the outsourcing. You as a youngster, you have to look for that. You have to ask from your professors, from your other colleagues, that the Kosovo, with this capacity, we have it here, with the capacity that we have in University of Pristina and our other faculties, we have enough capacities that we have to use it for outsourcing, for G3, G4, and other capacities. This capacity we should not allow to go away from here. We have to find the mechanisms and ways of restoring this for the sake of the future of our country. Thank you.